From the campus of Bethune-Cookman University, welcome to the Wildcat Football Insider. I'm Lynn Thompson, and for the next 30 minutes, we'll take you inside the football program of the BCU Wildcats, and along with head football coach Terry Sims, we'll talk about Wildcat Football Homecoming 2018, and the Cats rolled in grand style with a 41-27 win over Mississippi Valley State. And Coach Sims, it was indeed a thrilling end to a great homecoming week of festive celebrations all over the campus and all over the city.
It was. You know, we had a lot going on in Daytona all week. And I think our alumni, they came back and enjoyed themselves. And we capped it off with a great win on Saturday. Wasn't as clean as I would like it, but, you know, it's a win, and we got to take that.
You know, Mississippi Valley State came in here, Coach, the first time in 43 years that we played them. And, Coach, against SWAC football teams, we are 7 straight victories over the SWAC teams, and you're 12-3 at home.
I didn't really know that. I didn't keep up with that stat. It's just always good to play, you know, another HBCU out of another conference, and they're the only other Division I HBCU conference. So it's always great to get a win against those.
A sellout crowd at homecoming. It was great to come out of the locker room and see no seats available, wasn't it?
It was fantastic, and I think our team got a lot of energy from the crowd. They always feed off the crowd, and our fans were great on Saturday.
Let's take a look now at the highlights of the big win, 41-27. The Cats roll at home.
To go. Kevius Williams in the shotgun, tail back to his left, a high snap, gets it down, sweep to the right, Washington, first down and more inside the 40, run still inside the 35, and 3 Delta Devils bring him down at the 33-yard line. He takes that one 33. Shotgun snap off the near side, and a pitch from Robinson. Throws his shoulder, and he's down about the 35-yard line. Here early on, second down and 10 from their own 45, and shotgun snap to Williams. Unleashes a deep pass down the right side. Kevon Mitchell brings in the 10, sheds a tackler. Touchdown, maroon and gold from 55 yards out. Kevon Mitchell makes it a 14-6 game, 11:06 second quarter.
And the coverage was outstanding by Thompson himself. He's looking to run hard.
For 8 yards in his last game. Much more here, the snap. He runs back at the end zone, plus to the right, now to the left. He throws a deep pass down the left sideline. It's tipped and nearly intercepted out of bounds. It was caught off the tip out of bounds by Ty Peters, but he was about a half a yard to a yard deep into that white paint. Changes motions from right to left. They give it to him, scoop to the far side. Hendricks is there to greet him for a loss inside the 5-yard line. Jackson with the block at the 15, the 10, the 5, runs in untouched, touchdown, maroon and gold, Malik Jackson from 7 yards out. Running back to his left, Chambers motions from right to left, play action, he throws left side, it's tipped and intercepted by the Cats down the far sideline, inside the 25 and down at the 20-yard line. There's that TO, Larry Westman. Cookman picks it off. He's offset to the left. Here's the snap, play action, throws, screen caught by Robinson, the 20, jukes to the 15, near sideline 10, the 5, he's in the end zone, touchdown, maroon and gold, Jimmy Robinson from 20 yards out, and Bethune-Cookman takes a 20-14 lead, 6:21 second quarter. Robinson the tailback, give to Robinson to the left side, Marquez Ford has none of it. Drop shotgun snap. Bryant throws a deep pass down the middle, intercepted the 50-yard line by the Cats. BCU runs to the near side, cutting out the 30, the 25, the 20, takes the 15, the 10, the 5, a pick 6, Bethune-Cookman, Trevor Marin takes it to the house.
Oh, that young man from the air, high school guy, Carlisle, but what a play by him, intercepted it. Better job of running it back.
And Mallard lines up to the right. This snap, Williams keeps it to the left side, has to beat one man, runs out to the edge, lowers his shoulder for the pylon, touchdown, maroon and gold, Kevius Williams on 4th and 1 from 2 yards out.
Well, those are those golden legs, the golden legs.
Left of Bryant, a shotgun snap, pass rush forward, throws a dart down the middle, intercepted, picked off by the Wildcats inside the 30-yard line. He breaks away Kennedy and Dukeway, dances to the left side of the 15, and Dukeway at the 10, runs at the 5, they still can't bring him down, and he's finally pushed out of bounds to the 6-yard line. Kennedy and Dukeway with his tight end Bochiet motions to the left. This snap to Williams. The zone read gives to Washington. Breaks tackle at the 5. Washington scoots in the end zone. Touchdown, maroon and gold. Isaac Washington takes them from 5 yards out.
Good job right there. We got the edge set that time in.
Gives it to Isaac Washington. Cuts the 15. Washington the 10 at the 5. And he stopped there. That's our final score. Mississippi Valley State 27, Bethune-Cookman 41. For Jamaris Tompkins and Larry Wesley, I'm Nolan Alexander saying so long from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Each team starts their journey on separate roads, but they all converge to one road to the championship. There will be revenge and redemption. There'll be an Aggie and Eagle standoff. There'll be Bulldogs and Bears colliding with Tigers and Spartans, Hornets fighting off Bison, and Wildcats rattling the Rattlers. The road has twists and turns, and when it ends, one thing is certain. Only one team will claim the title, MEAC champion.
This December 15th, the best in HBCU football will meet in Atlanta at the Celebration Bowl. MEAC champion versus SWAC champion. Only one will rise above the rest at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and claim the coveted Celebration Bowl trophy. For more information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Welcome back to the BCU Wildcat Football Insider. Lynn Thompson along with Terry Sims as we talk about the first half highlights and offensively of the Wildcat big win over Mississippi Valley State 41-27 in homecoming 2018. And Coach, you started offensively very slow, and I noticed on the sideline that you were animated, and I don't know if it was a lack of focus or what, but we started slow and we spotted them 14 points.
It was. We came out flat, not to my liking at all. I don't really know how to, describe it. We were just not where we need to be mentally when we took the field. So we had to get the guys going a little bit. We started slow in all three phases. I think, we kind of, I guess, tried to wait and see what they were going to do, trying to feel them out a little bit, and that's not how you want to take the field in a football game.
And this was a team that came in there very hungry and fired themselves up, got two great plays. First, 4th and 1, they break the line of scrimmage and score, and it stuns the crowd, and then they get another one off of a short drive off of a turnover. And then we go up top, and Kevon Mitchell, coach, his 4th touchdown out of the last 6 ball games. This guy comes up, Kevius hits him on a 58-yard touchdown bomb.
Yeah, and your average receiver wouldn't catch that football. Right. Kevon is a special young man. He does a lot of great things for this football program, and that catch was just one of them. He's a strong young man. He goes up, he attacks the football, and he's not going to ever accept not making a play if it's in his ability to make it.
That play sparked a wildfire of 28 consecutive points.
It did, and I think that's what we needed on the sideline to get our guys going because, as I said earlier, we came out flat. We didn't have a whole lot of energy. We were trying to get them going on the sideline, but it's nothing like a big play to get the whole sideline excited, and the stadium got excited, and we continue to feed off of that energy.
As a result of that, Jimmy Robinson scores on a 19-yarder. Akivius takes one with a few seconds left in the half, but Trevor Merritt takes a pick six to the house, Coach. And boy, you know, your defensive backfield, you know, that's we've got a few of those this year, haven't we?
We have, and you know, for Trevor, Trevor's been a steady guy for the last 3 years. He played as a true freshman, made a lot of plays for us last year, and he's continuing that now. You know, he's a very intelligent young man. He understands football. He understands our defense, and you know, he studies film like you know, no other. So it wasn't a surprise to us for you know, with Trevor making that play. It was just, I think, something we needed to continue to push our team forward on Saturday. You
use an assortment of running backs again, Coach. 34 gets the start today. Washington gets the start. You get the bulk of the carries. You rested Tupac a lot. You gave Jimmy a couple of carries, but then here comes number 27. And I think that is probably a prelude to what we're going to be seeing for the remainder of the year. And this kid, Ladarian Williams, let's talk about him.
Listen, Ladarian Wilson is a young man who transferred to us from the University of Maryland. He actually came in last year. He was injured. He had to have surgery. He did that, rehabbed hard, came back in camp, and it took him a couple of weeks to get in shape. But now he's up to speed with the offense. He's in shape, and he's going to be a mainstay in our offense for the rest of the season.
There was a drive that you gave him the ball about 4 consecutive times, and he was just biting off chunks of yardage, Coach, in 12, 8, 10, 14 yards at a clip. And he gets to the second level so fast, and the linebackers really don't want to tackle him.
No, they don't. Linebackers don't want to tackle him, and defensive backs definitely don't want any part of him. You know, he's a compact guy, but when you watch him play and you see the things he can do, he catches the ball very well out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles, but he can definitely run the ball outside the tackles also. He's just a special back to be a guy his size.
Malik comes up with a great touchdown run off a reverse, Coach, and he did something that you jumped on him about. He danced in the end zone.
And you know, Malik understands right from wrong. He knows, you know, he can't do that, and we can't afford that. We spoke with him about it. He was just caught up in homecoming and the crowd and being able to do something positive for the team. But, you know, we can't let plays like that be negated by foolish penalties. And, you know, I don't think you'll see that from him again. You saw a couple of receivers who did not play. I saw Harper. You saw Cruz. Those guys did not dress for the game. You still got a couple of injuries here that you got to heal. But everybody's got to be everybody on deck, full speed ahead, all hands on deck this coming Saturday. They have to be, and you know, our saying here in our program is next man up. You know, that's why we recruit. That's why we continue to give our guys reps in practice. You know, if we get a guy that goes down, the next guy has to step up and take those reps, and our guys have been doing a good job of that this season. Uncharacteristically, 3 turnovers on the day for the offensive unit. We'll come back and talk in just a few moments about the defensive output. 5 takeaways on the day, including a pick 6 for the Wildcat defense.
Each team starts their journey on separate roads, but they all converge to one road to the championship. There will be revenge and redemption. There'll be an Aggie and Eagle standoff. There'll be Bulldogs and Bears colliding with Tigers and Spartans, Hornets fighting off Bison, and Wildcats rattling the Rattlers. The road has twists and turns, and when it ends, one thing is certain. Only one team will claim the title, MEAC champion.
This December 15th, the best in HBCU football will meet in Atlanta at the Celebration Bowl. MEAC champion versus SWAC champion. Only one will rise above the rest at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and claim the coveted Celebration Bowl trophy. For more information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Welcome back to the BCU Wildcat Football Insider. The Wildcats win homecoming 2018, 41-27 over Mississippi Valley State. 12-3, Coach Terry Sims is at home in Daytona Beach, and the Cats win their 7th straight game over a SWAC conference opponent. Coach, most importantly, you're 2-0 in the last 2 weeks. Got some momentum as you prepare to go on the road at South Carolina State. But let's talk about the defensive output against Mississippi Valley. You spot them 2 touchdowns. One of them, they broke the line of scrimmage on a 4th and 1 and go 51 yards for a touchdown. The other, they got a short field and scored.
They did, and the long run they had, we had a defensive lineman that was double teamed, didn't really fight pressure like he should, and a linebacker that was supposed to be in that gap, he's looking at the wrong key. You know, what we call just being nosy, and ran out of his gap, and it left nobody there. So it was a play that was destined to go for a touchdown because we had 2 guys that just didn't execute their assignments. And, you know, on the short field, our defense had a couple of, you know, stops on the short field on the night, but that one we just couldn't come up with the stop.
A mobile quarterback they had, and he was elusive in the backfield, but we do get 1 sack on the day, and that was Tony. I mean, that was, who was that to come up with the sack? As a matter of fact, that was Tony Edmonds who comes up with the sack, Coach. But most importantly, on the day, we were able to come up with some picks. We talked about Trevor Merritt's pick 6, but Donald comes up with one, and that was a big one. Donald Johnson, a great one. Kennedy Nduku, he comes up with one and almost takes it to the house.
Yeah, we had a couple guys that came up with interceptions on Saturday, and Kennedy he continues to amaze us with great play. You know, he's definitely playing out of the roof right now, and we hope he continues to do that. And Don Johnson, you know, he had an interception to close out the game. And you know, some people may not think it was an important interception, but all interceptions are important, and he allowed us to be able to just go in and close that game out offensively and not have to worry about them threatening to put more points on the board.
Let's talk about Kennedy Nduku, because this kid, number 5, played all around, Coach. One of the big plays in the game was a 4th and 1 when he broke the line of scrimmage and a tackle for loss on a 4th and 1 when it was actually in the backfield, a 4-yard loss. We get the ball back in a crucial situation. This kid on the day, he comes up with 3 tackles, including 1 behind the line of scrimmage. Him along with Marquise Hendricks. Marquise, 12 tackles on the day.
Right, and again, you know, Kennedy is a young man that has continued to get better week after week. He's studying more film. He's showing us that he can be accountable and be a leader on the field, making big plays for us. You know, and for Marquise Hendricks, you know, enough can't be said about this young man. He's all over the field. He's making plays down the field. He's making plays behind the line of scrimmage. You know, he's recovering fumbles. He's causing fumbles. Right, got an interception. He's doing a lot of things for this program right now. And, you know, I just continue to take my hat off to these young men for continuing to prepare every day like it's their last game, and they're going out and they're playing to keep moving this football team forward.
Well, it was Todney Evans' last game, last homecoming. This kid comes up with 7 tackles, 4 solos, 3 assists, Coach, and he gets a fumble, forced fumble. He really went out in grand style. Marquise Ford plays another great game. But what can you say about 31? Devin James, solid.
Well, you know, again, Todney and Marcus Ford, both of those guys are experienced defensive ends, and we look for those things from them. Devin James is a sophomore linebacker, and if you didn't know he was a sophomore, you would think that he was a fifth-year senior because of the way he plays. He understands the game, he directs the defense, and he's all over the field making football plays himself, and he's a very unselfish player. He's a guy that wants all of his teammates to be successful, and it shows on Saturday the way he directs this defense around.
Special teams coach, Giovanni, one of the longest punts in school history, 65-yarder, punted the ball extremely well under bad conditions. The same can be said for one of the greatest kickers we've had, most accurate place kickers we're going to ever have.
Right. Uriel did a great job on Saturday, just being consistent and being the guy that we always count on, the guy we know we can count on. Whether it's a field goal or extra point, we can count on Uriel to go out and do his part. And Giovanni, his focus right now is right where we need it. You know, he's trying to do the right things. He's trying to do everything that Coach Larkins is asking him to do. And I don't think we can ask any more of the young man right now.
Okay, we'll come back in just a few moments. We'll go around the MEAC and we'll take a look at South Carolina State. Welcome back to the BCU Wildcat Football Insider. We'll close the book on Homecoming 2018, a massive celebration, and the Cats put the cherry on top, 41-27, with the win over Mississippi Valley State University. Coach, let's go around the MEAC right about now and talk about some of the exciting action going on. Let's top it off and start it off with a big win, Savannah State over a real good Charleston Southern football team, which the week before dismantled Hampton University in Hampton's opener in Big South play. Savannah State, the team we just blew through in the last week in Savannah, goes in the same stadium, 23-3 over Charleston Southern.
It was, and when you look at Savannah State, and that's what I said before we played them, they're not a bad football team. They have a lot of weapons, and they used them, obviously, on last Saturday because they had a whole lot of production.
Yes, absolutely. In Dover, Delaware, A&T, 34, Delaware State 6.
You know, it's North Carolina A&T, and they're hot right now. They're rolling. And anytime you get a disciplined football team that has a lot of athletes, they're going to do great things.
South Carolina State pulls one out in the end over Morgan State, 21-18.
It was, and actually just got finished watching that game, and it's crazy how things happen. It was just a simple screen, looked like it was supposed to be, or it turned into a wheel route, and the linebacker got caught up inside. You know, the back actually hit their offensive tackle, leaked out, quarterback dumps him the ball, he runs in and scores. So, you know, just those guys not quitting, and South Carolina State is that type of football team.
Coach, North Carolina Central rebounds after being blown out at home with a significant win over Howard University with less than 30 seconds to go in the game, 40-35.
It just goes to show you about this conference. There's a lot of parity in this conference. You can't really look at scores from the week before and make any judgment on a football team, because everyone in this conference has athletes, everyone in this conference has good coaches, and anybody can step up and be beaten on any day.
And the top team in the MEAC right now is just down the road. The Rattlers sit at 3-0. Willie Simmons has got the Snakes rolling with a big win, 17-0 at homecoming over Norfolk State.
And that was a good football game. You know, you have two really, really good football teams that have two offensive-minded coaches, and you look for a lot of points, but it looks like both defenses stepped up in that game, and it was a defensive battle on last Saturday.
20 seconds, Coach, to talk about South Carolina State. We're going into the Bulldogs' Den in Orangeburg, 2 o'clock this coming Saturday.
You're right, and when you look at South Carolina State, we kind of look at ourselves in the mirror. They're a fast football team, they're a physical football team, and they love to play the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to go down and match wits with their coaches and see what product we put on the field.
2 o'clock from Orangeburg, South Carolina, the Cats and the Dogs. If you can't join us, make sure you log on the CatEye Network to one of our platforms. We'll see you. For Terry Sims and the Wildcats, we'll see you in Orangeburg. Bethune-Cookman University offers its prayerful support to the family of Chris Hoke. Chris Hoke was indeed a vital part of BCU athletics. As a producer from King's Eye Media, he served for many years, assisting us in producing many of our video projects. We ask the Wildcat Nation to stand solidly in prayerful support for his family. Amanda and the kids, the Wildcats love you, and we will pray for you in the days to come and beyond. God bless you.